You've probably noticed Microsoft is going all in on AI, weaving it into pretty much everything they make. But here's the thing, while they're betting the entire company's future on it, that exact strategy might just be destroying their most famous product of all, Windows.
See, to really get what's going on with Windows 11, you have to understand that AI wasn't just added to it. It was baked into its very core, completely changing the operating system from the ground up. This wasn't some optional extra, it was a straight-up takeover of the entire user experience. So how in the world did we get here? Well, it all comes down to a massive, high-stakes bet from Microsoft. When ChatGPT launched, it was like an earthquake that shook the whole tech industry. Microsoft was absolutely determined not to get left behind, so they just went all in on AI.
But, this ambition isn't exactly new. Microsoft has been trying to build an AI assistant for decades. Remember Clippy? That annoying paperclip from the 90s? Yeah, that eventually evolved into Cortana, and now we have Copilot. It's been a long road of trial and error, but this time, the integration is on a completely different level.
And this right here is the crucial point. Copilot isn't just some app you can open or close. Microsoft built it as a new, unavoidable layer right on top of Windows itself. And the more they force that layer on you, the more the whole OS starts to feel like it's actually fighting you.
Now, Microsoft didn't just cross their fingers and hope people would adopt their new AI-powered world. No, they pretty much engineered a situation where millions of users felt like they had no choice at all. Here's the deadline they set. In 2025, Microsoft is ending all support for Windows 10. That means no more critical security patches, no more updates. So for millions of people, this created a really tough choice. Jump into the AI-first world of Windows 11 or get left behind and vulnerable. But here's the kicker. Windows 11 has way higher system requirements, and a big reason for that is all those AI features running in the background. It's estimated that a staggering 60% of existing PCs couldn't even run it. So for most people, upgrading the software also meant having to buy a whole new computer.
So you see what happened here, right? This combination of a hard deadline and really strict hardware needs, it felt less like a normal upgrade and a lot more like a forced migration. And it created this deep resentment among some of Microsoft's most loyal customers.
Okay, so what about the people who did make the jump? Well, for a lot of them, the experience was just pure frustration. Let's dig into how this new AI-powered system started to feel more like an obstacle than a tool. People started noticing all these small but constant problems. Simple stuff, like moving a file suddenly became more complicated. You change a setting and it just wouldn't save right. The OS was always trying to guess what you wanted to do, but in the end, it just got in the way. The whole thing just felt unfinished, like it was rushed out the door just to make Copilot unavoidable. Now, while your average user was noticing these annoyances, there's one group out there that feels even the tiniest change in performance. They were basically the canaries in the coal mine for Windows 11's problems. Gamers. And what they found was, wow. Gamers quickly realized their games were running up to 10% slower on the brand new Windows 11. Now, if you're in a competitive game where a split second of lag can lose you the entire match, that kind of performance drop is just completely unacceptable. I mean, think about it. Gamers are usually the first people to adopt new hardware and software. They want the latest and greatest. But in this case, they were actively switching back to the older Windows 10. When your most tech-savvy users are downgrading on purpose, that's not just a complaint, that is a massive warning sign. And they were about to be proven right in a very, very big way. This slow burn of bad performance and eroding trust, well, it was about to escalate into a full-blown crisis, all because of a single, disastrous update. So in January 2026, Microsoft pushes out this update that was supposed to fix some of these headaches. Instead, it was a catastrophe. People couldn't sign into their own computers, their systems wouldn't shut down, emails were just gone, and even the basic task manager would freeze up, locking up the entire PC. The situation got so bad that sources were describing the software as near unusable. This wasn't just a buggy update, this was a fundamental failure that turns people's computers into these unreliable, untrustworthy machines. And then, the real bombshell. People started digging and found this chilling disclaimer. Buried in Microsoft's own fine print, it actually said that the AI might introduce novel security risks. The fact that Microsoft's lawyers felt they needed to cover themselves for that possibility, it just sent a shockwave through the user base. And that really brings us to the core issue here. The real damage isn't just about bugs or slow performance. The heart of the problem is a complete and total breakdown of trust between Microsoft and the people who rely on their software every single day.
So after all of this, the forced upgrades, the performance problems, the catastrophic updates, what do you think was the single most requested feature for this new, smarter Windows?
A way to turn the AI off. That's it. That's what people wanted. They didn't want a better AI. They just wanted the old Windows back. They wanted a computer that would just let them work without a so-called assistant getting in the way.
And you can see how this creates a huge problem for Microsoft. As regular people delay their upgrades, businesses push back on installing it, and gamers actively downgrade, the whole Windows ecosystem starts to look less like a stable foundation and more like a liability. Which leaves us with this one final crucial question. Your operating system. It's the most fundamental piece of software on your computer. It's the one thing you absolutely have to be able to trust. So, once that trust is completely gone, what's an operating system even for?